Namyan, let me start by asking you, what do you make of the recent non-dom departures? Is the threat to London's economy real or overstated?
Well, thank you very much for your great question. Allow me to start with just a little bit of Adam Smith. Adam Smith was a British economist in 1700s, and he defined a country. A country as a country is defined by its wealth makers. So a country without its wealth makers is not a country. So if we want to define a country, it is wealth makers. 100 years later, Karl Marx said no. A country is defined by its masses, and wealth makers do not matter. Now, we've experienced both types of economies with Adam Smith and Karl Marx in the last 200 years. And now we see it. Actually, the wealth makers are the most important component of any country. Without wealth makers, there is no country because there is no money to have borders and to have other organizations to keep the country together. And going back to your question, what the Keir Starmer, the Labour government, is doing is kicking out all the wealth makers. They've taken a war against wealth makers. They regard wealth makers as nuisance. They're not accommodating them at all. And the wealth makers in United Kingdom, now they have become an endangered minority. In my opinion, they are the most endangered minorities in United Kingdom, and that is a very bad news for United Kingdom.
Right. The Financial Times suggests the UK may lose more revenue than it gains with this reform. Now, how dangerous is this miscalculation?
Well, you call it miscalculation. It was very predictable because many other governments have tried that to promise their people everything by taxing the rich, the wealth makers. And the idea is there is this abundant wealth created by the wealth makers. Doesn't matter how much we tax them, there is always more, which doesn't work like that. There is a limit to resources. There is the limit to the ability of wealth makers. So if you restrict them more, both in terms of resources and in terms of ability and freedom, there will be no wealth to be taxed. And ironically, if I may give you an example, in United Kingdom, there is so much freedom politically. You could shout politics all day and all night, and there is no problem. But when it comes to business, there is hardly any business, any freedom, especially for small businesses. This has become an over-regulated country, and startups and a small business cannot operate anymore. Ironically, there is more business freedom in Russia, in China, in many other countries than United Kingdom.
Right. So, from your point of view, was there a better way to reform the non-dom regime without causing this investor panic?
Yes, of course. If they would have lowered the taxes, it would have been good for everyone, especially for overseas investors. And the